Hi guys, this is Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner, and today I'm going to start sharing with you some of the ways that I'm organizing my stash. It is the new year, January 2021, so I figured this would probably be a good time, now that the holidays are over, for me to start going through my stash again, cleaning things up, and trying to get them better organized. Now, the video that I'm going to share with you today, I did record a little while back when I did part of these, and I still have more to go. But what I'm going to show you is how I'm creating these nice little folders and the organization system that I'm using. This embossing folder, first part of this series I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be organizing embossing folders, and this one is the brick wall from Doris. So first thing I did, I've got some, yes, this is heavyweight cardstock that I've got from Michael's, so it's not that expensive, and I basically made a little folder, the folding here, big enough for this to fit inside either direction. I actually originally designed it to go this direction, although I think I may go back and redo it here because I think I'll be able to store more more effectively. But actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So what I need to do is I need to trim this off about an inch further along there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my paper trimmer. You guys have seen this trimmer quite a bit. This one is my Fiskars. So I'm going to cut an additional inch off. So line that up for about an inch. Then I'm going to just take my Crop-A-Dile corner rounder and round those corners. And I think I want I do like this 1 inch round, so I think that's the one I'm going to use. But it doesn't really matter which way you go. So now this is going to fit perfectly inside my folder there. And then, once I get everything labeled and such, I can put them in this bin. This is just a plastic shoebox that I picked up. I think this was from Michael's. And the height now, it's still a little bit high for me to be able to fill it completely. You can see that. It's a little bit high there, so I won't be able to put the lid on. However, if I have them about like what I've got here, where it's not fully packed, I will be able to put the lid back on, and that'll make it easier for me to store more of my folders. And you can tell I've got quite a bit. I've actually got 2 bins of this size full of embossing folders, and you know that this winter I started using them again, so you will be seeing some more videos with those in there. Now that you've seen the finished folders, I figured I would go ahead and show you kind of how I got those set up. On this screen you'll see that I'm showing not only the embossing folders that I'm organizing, but also how I'm doing my labels. Now I'm using a Brother P-Touch label printer. It's a little old, but it works perfectly fine, and I have no reason to replace it. I would say any kind of labeler that you want to use, even if it's just your printer onto some label paper, would work perfect for this. So first I'm just going to go ahead and put the title and the name of the embossing folder and the company that it is from. I'm going to go ahead and print out some labels listing those. And I decided that for these, I kind of have changed my mind a few different times as to how I want them to look on there. I'm kind of down to the line where I do put a label on each of the embossing folders by themselves, and then on the actual label for the folder for them, I'm putting in larger letters, I'm putting the name of the embossing folder, and then in lower letters the name of the company that it's from. That way I always know what I've got. And to be honest, some of these I don't remember what I've got. I mean, this one from Sizzix is awesome, and I don't use it often enough, but because I've got the name of it right there, I can go ahead and put it on that label, and the label is going to work out fine. So I'm just typing in one more of those, the Skull Damask by Sizzix. And since I'm putting them on these folders, I decided I'm going to do 2 copies, one for the front of the folder and one for the back. So I'll just print those out. So next I'm just going to cut apart all of those labels, the different titles, so that I can put them on my little folders that are going to hold my embossing folders. I figure this is probably a good time to mention how I created the folders in the first place. Now, it's just some pieces of heavyweight cardstock. The reason I used heavyweight is because I want them to hold up over time. And these are some colors that I actually don't use that often, and I had a ton of, so that's the reason I used those. You'll notice that on the front of the little folder, I've got the embossed image. So I went ahead and did a regular card size piece of cardstock and ran it through my Gemini with that embossing folder. Like on this one, there's actually two different embossing folders. One is a large one and one is just a border strip. And I did the embossing for both of those and then glued those to the front. That way, every time when I pull them out, I can see what the end result's going to be. I'm real bad about not using things because it doesn't dawn on me how cool they're going to look until I see an actual sample. And I do the same kind of thing with all of my stamps and dies and such too. I have to try them out first, that way I can see a little bit about how they can work out and maybe get some ideas as to how to use them before putting them away. At least that's what I do now. Used to, I just tried to get everything put away and didn't worry about it, but now I really want to know, where did I get this from? Because I want you guys to know what, if you wanted to try to duplicate what I'm making or do something similar, you need to know what the product is. So these days I do try to get everything nice and labeled so that not only will I be able to find it easier, but it's also easier for you guys. So now that these are all labeled, I'm going ahead and just alphabetizing them before putting them in my bin. I am also making a slight change to what I had earlier, and you've also seen that I'm going to be making another change with trimming these folders down smaller. I decided I want to color code them, at least for a couple of things. So for Halloween, I'm going to use some orange, like pumpkin orange. And then for Christmas, I decided I wanted to use some green. Now this is going to make it a lot easier for me to find since everything's alphabetized, it's also going to help me because I'm doing the color coding, it'll be easier for me to find the ones for a specific holiday. And the two holidays that I do the most crafting for are Halloween and for Christmas, just because those are two times that are just absolutely so much fun. Now, after I get everything alphabetized and color-coded and all of that, I'm also going to be putting these all into a OneNote notebook. I'll be doing a comprehensive tutorial on how to use OneNote or Evernote or something of that nature to basically give you an inventory of all of your stamps, dies, embossing folders, all of that coming up soon. But you can check out this one that I've had on my channel for quite a while. I hope that you found this video helpful, and I'll have another craft organization video out soon, as well as lots more tutorials, process videos, and general crafty fun. I would love for you to join in, so come join my Facebook group, Crafting with Debbie. I've left a link to the group in the description below. Here are some other videos that you may be interested in. Thanks again for dropping by, and remember, if I can make it, you can too.